Hello. Testing 1 2. Welcome to Roll for Crit for the final stream of Hostage Negotiator Career, in which I, Jonathan, will be taking on years 9 and 10 to complete my epic campaign and my illustrious, some might call it, a trash fire career as a hostage negotiator from Van Ryder Games. Hello, everyone in the chat. We're going to get the game started in a little bit. Running a little bit late tonight, just a little tiny bit. Let me know if everything looks okay. I made myself larger than I normally do. The camera. I've been doing some last minute tweaking, trying to get things to. I might tweak it even more now. Watch out. Uh-oh, it's going to get weird. Things are going to get weird. Trying to get it to look all right. I think I'm going to also. I got to brighten it up a touch for you guys. Let me know. Let me know. I hope you like this. I hope you like this part of the stream. Come on. No, come on. I took my eyes off it for a second. And now I'm breaking the camera. Here we go. Maybe just one punch, maybe two. One punch, man. I'll come back out a little. See. Oh, God. Oh, God. I don't want to. This is the secrets. Oh, God. You can see the edges. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Anyway, this will all be edited out for YouTube. In the process, I have way more room on that side of the screen, and I realized on that side of this side of the screen, I realized you don't really need to see any of that stuff. So I'm just gonna make myself larger. So you're gonna see a large Jonathan tonight. So I hope you're ready for that. I hope you can handle that. I hope it's not too terrifying for you. But it's appropriate because it's larger than life. It's our final stream. If you missed the first 8 years of my career, you can go back and watch them. But to sum it up, I'm a bad hostage negotiator. I wish that this was. It's gonna drive me nuts. It's gonna drive me nuts, guys. I have to get up. I've got to do it. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm gonna narrate it the whole time. Here I go. It's just going to take me 1 second. I just got to do one little thing that's going to make... No, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that, but the rest should be fine. No, you can see it a little bit still. This is good quality stuff right here. All right, I'm coming back. Everyone, nobody freak out. I'm back. My shoulder was getting cut off and it bothered me, so it's a little better now. Anyway... Hostage Negotiator is a game for a solo player in which you roll a series of dice in order to accomplish tasks that will ultimately aid you in negotiating with an abductor, freeing hostages, and hopefully capturing or eliminating said abductor to win. This is the campaign version of the game, which uses all of its expansions, and I am on the final 2 years of my career. Eagle-eyed viewers who have paid attention and know the rules better than I do may be aware of the fact that I'm only allowed a certain amount of killed hostages over the course of the career, and I'm pretty sure that it's possible that tonight or already I may have lost the entire campaign, in which case you're supposed to just start over. But, I don't care. I'm just got to finish this thing to see it through to the end, whether it's correct or not. So I am going to play through the last 2 years of tonight's game, of this game. Okay, and my headphones are also like you're watching a. I don't know what's going on over here. It's like the Ring video. Things got started a little late tonight because we were guests on a podcast that will be out sometime next week that you will get to hear us talk on. Oh no! Should I do the whole show like this? Hey guys, welcome to Hostage Negotiator. I hope you like the show. Ha ha! No, that would be weird. You don't want that. We'll settle on this one right here, so I'm not flickering like a candle. All right, we start every episode of people aren't liking this in the chat. Actually, I'll read a couple of chat. By the way, if you're in the chat right now watching live, thanks for joining. Hoser asked if I ever gave the hostage negotiator I'm playing a name. It's me, but if it has to have a name that's not my name, I guess that my negotiator name is all I can think of is Chuck Tingle. And it shouldn't be that. How about Frankie Pants? Don't. This isn't canon. Just don't. Please don't take any of this. And Hoser also said any hostages lost within the first 4 years of my career shouldn't count anyways. True. That's true in so many areas of life. Dorokiryu has redeemed a stretch using his crit points on the old Twitch. Ooh, doesn't my arm look kind of creepier? Like, look at the way my arm is stretching. It's unnatural. It's like a body horror film. Okay. Oh my god. It's like, did you guys see Old? You remember that scene from Old? There's a gross scene from Old where the bones get all twisted. If you know, you know. All right. Let's start playing Hostage Negotiator, Year 9. If you'll recall, last time I got to swap out this set of cards for the other set of cards. So that's cool. And we're going to start, of course, by reading the Year 9 card. I do not have any stressors still. I don't know how I managed to avoid that in the entire second half of the game. Of course, I didn't bring a pencil over here either, but we'll get there when we get there. So we just start with the career card. So here we go, Year 9. You can see the picture on it. It looks like the office kind of dimmed a little bit, a little melancholy, perhaps, looking back on our career over the years. I will read it to you now. You feel yourself tiring of this life. It's like they reached right into my heart and pulled out my own feelings. You've talked to the chief about it. You've talked to Dr. Roslin about it. You've talked to pretty much anyone who will listen, hoping someone could change your mind. But sadly, that just hasn't happened. I have two options. Dig deep another year to qualify for your pension. Or remind yourself that lives depend on you. So, am I going another year for my money, or because it's the right? Here's the thing: lives don't depend on me. If anything, I've put more lives in danger than I have saved them. So I'm gonna go with Hoser's suggestion in the chat. I'm going to go do it for the pension. I didn't. They don't need me. They don't need me. I just want to get my money, retire, and get out. At this point, it's the best any of us can hope for. So let's see what it says under the secret decoder panel. You really can't afford to retire yet. You owe too much to too many. But at some point, your body and mind will call in the debts you owe them. Gain stressor debt. Well, now I just said I don't have one. Now I have one. Let's see. Where's some debt in here? Some debt. I got some debt. Got some debt. That will come into play next year. And I also get +2 personal stress. Whereas before I only had 1, now I have 3 personal stress. There was no benefit to that at all. It's sorry to say. I guess that's what's happened when you do it for the money, you know? Let's be honest with ourselves. Now oh, great. Draw. It says to draw a campaign abductor, as usual, and add an additional hostage to the pool at the start of the game. So, cause that's what I needed, is to bump up the difficulty. You'll see over here, a little sneak peek at year 10. We're not there yet. We're going to keep that there till we're out at 9. So, let's draw our campaign abductor. Let's find out, in our second to last game, who will we be facing? Could be a familiar face. I don't know. Shuffling it up. All right, here we go. We're going up against Barrett Mullins. Does that kind of look like Will? Does that kind of look like Will? The beard, a little bit. There's a resemblance. There's a resemblance. Anyway. Barrett Mullins. All right. Barrett Mullins. Let's find, now I gotta find all the Barrett Mullins stuff, which I have over here to the side, so I'm off into the void right now. That's okay, I'm off to this side. That seems good. It's less awkward. Less uncanny valley. Where are you, Barrett? Where's Barrett in here? I'm not seeing him. Oh, is he back here? Oh, there's more back here. Got a lot more. Barrett Mullins, here we go. He's from the Crime Wave expansion, in case anyone was wondering. Will says he wishes he could grow a beard like that. You didn't? I don't know. I think it's pretty close. So Barrett Mullins, it's a dude with a shotgun. That's what he is. So he's got one major demand. Oh yeah, he has 4 of them, but one of them is going to start in play. We don't know what it is yet. And we're also going to get an escape demand. Might put some of those on that side. Isn't it great how they have all these, this board has all these nice spots for like the discard pile, your demands up here, conceded demands go over here. But I never use any of that because I can't fit it on screen. But whatever. And he also gets an escape demand, which doesn't come from his pool. That's a generic one. Let me find the escape demands. Here they are. Will thinks his first demand is going to be beard oil. Could be. Yeah, we'll see what his tragic backstory is in a second. It just keeps getting better, folks. So we start with a hostage pool of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because the game told us to add a 9th. But fear not, Barrett Mullins is here for us. We start with 1 hostage killed. He has already taken lives, and the game has not yet begun. That's how you know he's serious. Oh my God, Barrett is a little wild. He starts. Oh, do I have a Barrett meeple? I gotta see if I have a Barrett meeple. I do. I've got a guys. This is a special night. I've got the Barrett meeple. No generic red meeple for us. Barrett is. This is our little Barrett meeple. Doesn't that look like him? He's got his little shotgun. Or no, he doesn't. But he's got the beard. Hoser says that dead hostage doesn't count toward your total. Agreed. Barrett on the threat track here begins on K. He begins at the max threat level. This dude is angry. This dude is like Reddit incel level angry. He is peeved. And I have a special ability with Barrett, which is, it's called Call Barrett's BS. And it says BS. I'm not censoring myself. It says BS. Once per conversation, if the threat level is 3 or greater, yeah, it is. You may discard 1 conversation card to either lower threat by 1 or get 2 conversation points. Okay. Here's his backstory, because I know we're all wondering what's got Barrett so mad. Barrett is furious. He's already killed 1 hostage and is threatening to kill more. Something has made him go ballistic, but what it is remains unclear. Every attempt to calm him down results in an explosion of rage and Barrett screaming, "Just make the damn call!" I can't really scream because it's going to blow up the mic and you're not going to be happy, trust me. He's more like, "Just make the damn call!" If you're going to save the rest of the hostages from Barrett's wrath, I'll try, you'll need to find out who you're supposed to call and find out quickly. Who are we supposed to call? Maybe his barber. So Barrett goes over there. We have a friend in real life named Garrett, which is spelled the same way but with a G. I wonder if there's a connection. I don't know. Maybe there is. I know nobody hydrated me, but I have water on standby and I'm going to drink some. Deal with it. All right. Um, Will says to give him a Snickers because he always gets hangry when he's he always gets angry when he's hungry. I combined him, hangry. Boy, did I just coin that phrase? Oh no, wait, it's very common and popular. All right, I have to put some tarot cards on top of this deck. Oh, thank you, Doric. You redeemed the hydrate, which makes my hydrate legal. Otherwise, I'll be punished. Trust me, you don't want to know. Yeah, this is all right. Is it weird that I'm taking up more screen real estate? I don't know why I never did this before. Oh well, I got it right on the final stream. By the way, I began, technically speaking, this is true. My first stream of Hostage Negotiator career was during last year's online only Gen Con. This was one of our streams. And we are today just a week out from our in-person Gen Con in Indiana. So it feels somehow right to wrap this chapter of our lives up before that takes place, doesn't it? Just thought I'd point that out. A little Easter egg for you. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The more I play this, the more I feel like I should start sleeving some of these cards. Let me tell you. The tarot cards do get shuffled about a bit. The rest are fine, but... All right, we're in it. No more monkey business. We are playing the game, and the name of the game, as you all know, is to clear the hostage pool, rescue half of them, and capture or eliminate Barrett Mullins. And I really am gonna have to go ahead right out of the gate and use his call his on his BS. Use that ability to discard a conversation card to lower the threat level by 1. I feel like that's kind of what that's there for. It might as well just say he starts there and you start with only one. You start with 1 card discarded because I gotta have my 2 dice. I can't be playing on 1 die. That's suicide. We all know with my luck how bad that is. So that's my first move. Now, I can do that again. I can do that again. As long as it's above 3, I can keep doing that. God, you know what? So I've got 2 cards in my hand, and the likelihood, you can see they help me lower threat. They only give, the best result I can do is they'll also give me a +1. Why am I taking that chance? I'm just going to spend both of these cards. I maybe shouldn't have even spent that one, but it's okay. Spend both of these cards just to bring it down 2 more. Put him down basically to where most of the abductors start. I think it's all right. I think it'll be okay. And then, of course, I'm going to try to make some small talk. What does Barrett Mullins want to talk about? Beard hygiene? Shotgun maintenance? What are you so angry about, dude? Who do you want me to call? I assume it's on this major demand. That's where we're going to find out. I can't wait to find out. He's got 4 of them. It's random, so I guess in some games he wants something different. That's kind of neat. Here we go. I'm going to be rolling off camera because of the way it's positioned this week, so just trust me, I'm not going to manipulate these dice. I have a feeling once I roll them, you'll know I'm not manipulating these dice. Here we go. All right, so that's 2 blanks. Like I said, promise, I'm not going to touch them. 2 blanks, nothing I can do about it. That means I get 1 conversation point, and the conversation is over. I don't get to ask him any questions. I will spend my conversation point on the only thing that I can, which is the consider this reroll card. And put the rest that I spent back into the pool for next time, because I will not get them again until then. Oh, I forgot. I'm going to go ahead and do this now. I have digital forensics. This is my power. Lets me look at the pivotal event at the bottom of this deck before the negotiation begins. I know it's technically not the beginning anymore, but you can all forgive me if I do this now. The pivotal event here is get to the point. You may not purchase zero-cost cards from the available area for the remainder of the game. Okay, so I know that now in my head. If I get to the end, my zero-cost cards, I'm not getting back for the final round of the game. So I guess I want to try to have those in my hand before then. I don't know that that's going to impact my decisions too terribly much. Not early on, at any rate. Hoser says, "Oh, we'll be able to tell if you're fudging rolls or not." Yeah, if I ever roll any success, then I could probably know I'm making it up. Time for the terror card. Let's see what we got. Give us some terror. Give us some terror, Barrett. Terrorize me. Hostage escape attempt. I'm going to make a threat roll. And depending on the result, a hostage is either going to be saved or killed. Is this hostage going to make it out alive? We're all rooting for him. We're all rooting for this one who's trying to get out. Come on. Come on. Little Tammy. It's little Tammy. Come on, Tammy. Hey! Right there. Right there. Believe it or not. I won't begrudge you if you think I'm cheating. It was a success. Little Tammy made it out. We got one in the green. How about that? All right, so it was, if not a success, they would have got shot by old Barrett there. Cool. Okay. All right. Can live with that. Well, I really don't have too many options on this turn, so we have to once again go into the fray with some small talk. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Barrett, I came on too strong the first time. Let's talk about someone else with a fame. I bet he appreciates men with great beards. Rasputin. You big Rasputin guy, Barrett? What do you think about Rasputin? Barrett loves Rasputin. I knew he would. I was right on the money with this beard talk. 2 successes, a double 5, and that one was on camera, so you know I didn't cheat. That gives us 3 conversation points. Now, I've gotta get him to tell me his demands. I'm too curious. I have to look at that major demand. I want to know what this guy wants. What is making him so angry? It's going to help me, I think. So I'm going to play this card. I get to spend 1 there to reveal his major demand. Let's find out. According to this, the man Barrett Mullins wants to talk to is his father. Quote, "I've missed you, son. Go on and let those people go. They ain't got nothing to do with this." There's a portrait of his dad. Looks like a little... It's not going to focus, but he's kind of got a white Santa Claus beard. But in the picture, it sort of just looks like shaving cream. Anyway, here's how this demand works. I can spend 12 conversation points. Do you want to know when the last time I had 12 conversation points was? It has never happened. That has never happened a single time. It's never happened. It's never happened. But if I manage to get 12 conversation points, I get to roll all 5 dice. And if the sum of the dice is greater than 15, Barrett will release all hostages and surrender. I don't know if we're going to be able to get your daddy on the line, Barrett, but We will get our best guys on tracking him down for you. That's a tall order. Doru Kiryu has gifted some subs out in the chat. Oh man, it's a giving time. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to see. Okay, so that happened. Now we have 2 points to spend in addition to my zeros that I get back. I still have my reroll card. I didn't need to use it. Let's go for probably this is the special one that I subbed in, so maybe I should go for that to try to get that -2. Ooh, that's kind of nice. If I can get that. I haven't had 3 dice in so long in this game. Yeah, let's try it. We'll get Just Stay Calm. Okay. And our terror for this round. I want to play a game, it's called. I want to play a game. Remember Spiral from the Book of Saw? I think it's a reference to that film. By the way, if anyone's curious, they give you a lot of terror cards. This is what's known as a custom terror card deck. There's instructions on how to build it because of the expansions that came with it. You split the cards into groups so that there's an equal number of cards with similar effects, and then you make sure there's the right number, but then you randomize which ones are in it. And from that random pool, you pick 10 and put them on top here. In case you were curious about the process. I didn't always do that. I would just do a whole big random shuffle, but the last game and now for the rest, I'm going to be using one that I made. So, I don't know. There's just a little info for it. Anyway, I should read this card. Roll a die and compare the result to the current threat level. Huh. This would be a great card if it came out a little while ago. If it's lower than the threat level, a hostage is saved. Giving me a lot of chances here. If it's the same, nothing happens, and if it's higher, a hostage gets killed. So I want a 1-2, or I have a 50-50 shot. I want a 1, 2, or a 3, which means it's going to be a 6. So if he was really mad, the madder he is, the more likely it is I win his game. What kind of a game is this? Jigsaw you are not, my friend Barrett. I don't think you have quite the know-how to be a Jigsaw. He's a true mastermind of terror. Anyway, one lower than threat level. I need a 1, 2, or a 3. It's a 4. Am I allowed to? I don't think I'm allowed to do this. Am I? Am I allowed to do that? So, normally I can, if this symbol appears, I can spend 2 cards to convert that to... Oh, wait, converting it to a success would mean someone dies. All right, forget it. Nothing happens. Theoretically, a couple people dying is all right. I'm a bad hostage negotiator. We've established this. Okay, back to my turn. I really want conversation points because I want to be able to find out his other demand. That's what I'm thinking about. I also really want to lower his threat level, of course. That's always a factor, a concern. What should I start with? The problem is some of the cards have the option, they might end up ending the conversation early, so I can't play any cards that turn after that. So I usually want to not play those right away, but I really do want some conversation points. I could also just, again, spend a card right now. I mean, the odds of me getting that are so low. I'm just going to spend one more card calling him on his BS. I can also do that for +2 if the threat level is 3 or greater. Yeah, you know what? Let's just take advantage of this ability. I don't know if it's the best move. I'm going to discard that. Oh, if it's 3 or greater. Oh, yeah, so I'm going to discard 1 to get 2 points. Oh, and then I could spend... Oh, wow. That's like really low. This could be kind of good. No, maybe I won't do that then. I'm just going to spend that one to move him down to 3. And then I'll spend this one to move him down to 2. Oh, I can only do that once per conversation. Oh, wait, I can only do that once per conversation. I've been cheating already. We're 3 rounds in. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I should have known things were looking way too good. So basically, what this means is that he's not at 4. Uh, I've had 2 rounds, so I could have done this twice. He should be at 5. Doesn't change my number of dice that I've been rolling. Oh, but it does mean that a hostage should have been freed because I rolled a 4, which is lower. So a hostage did get saved from that one roll because of my cheating. It also means I would have had like a bunch of cards in my hand that I got rid of. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna call it even by taking the ones in this pile back. And again, I don't care if you want to write and say you're cheating, you're a bad person, go for it. I'm fine with it. Um, but this is the 3rd round, so I'm going to spend this to bring him down one more with that. I don't know. You can go ahead. I've given up. I don't care anymore. I don't care if I'm playing by the rules. Uh, I believe this is fair. Hopefully, you'll agree with me to some extent. Now we're all on top of the situation. Hoser 40K says sounds good to me. Thanks. Then if it's okay with Hoser, take it up with that guy. Because if you think Barrett Mullins is ticked off, temper on Hoser 40K. All right. Now that that's settled, I guess I am going to be playing some of these cards that I used to try to lower the threat level. I thought I was really taking the fast track. Still pretty good, though. Still pretty good, but now I am doing it the old-fashioned way. Let's see what we can do here. All right, that's 1 success. So he's down another level. Cool, 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 cool. Should I do that again? Yeah, I will play. I'll go ahead and play Just Stay Calm, I think is what I want to do. I'm going to play Just Stay Calm. So there's a chance still that if I get 2 successes, he's going down into the very, very green. And I'm going to get 3 dice to roll, which would be splendid. I've got a reroll card as well, so let's see how this goes. All right. I'm going to reroll the 2, I think. Is this worth it? Or should I just spend the 2 cards? Nah, I'll reroll it. Whatever. I'm going to reroll the one that rolled a blank. Well, I got a 3. It's better. All right, then I have to do it. Oh, man. I'll put these 2 face down to convert that to a success, which means it's lowered by 1. So, no luck on the 3 dice. I'll have to wait until hopefully next round for that to happen. But we still got some tricks up our sleeve. Oh, I don't have a lot of cards left. It's going to be a bad round next round. A87 Kamui in the chat. Hello! Hello, friends. Welcome all friends in the chat. You're all welcome here. Settle in. It's going to be a long night. Do I want to play these cards? I really went kind of crazy there playing all of my cards. Well, I'm buying nothing now, or I'm playing nothing next turn. What difference does it really make? Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Small talk. You liked Rasputin so much, Barrett? Well, how do you feel about Abraham Lincoln? Hmm? You a Lincoln guy? You a Lincoln freak? You a Lincoln freak? This guy hates Lincoln. So, I get a conversation point, but the conversation ends. Which is frustrating because I would have loved to use that to reveal his other demand, but that's not going to happen. And once again, the only card I can buy is the reroll. Does me no good until next time. The next round is basically going to be nothing, is what that means, unfortunately. Won't be the first time, won't be the last time in my history of playing this game. All right. Terrorize me, Cap'n. Let's raise the stakes. Let's not. I got to roll a die. Do you like how when I keep you in suspense and I don't tell you what the card does? First I got to roll a die. A 2. All right. We're adding 2 hostages to the pool as a result of that roll. So we saved 2, and we got 2 more. And now it's back to me, and I can't do anything. I cannot play either of my cards. They do not apply. So, yeah. I get these cards back for next time. I have no points to spend, and we go straight to another terror card. Things are really moving quick. And I've got a bad feeling about this. We have an unrevealed demand, which means threat is moving up 2 spaces. Ugh. We were so tantalizingly close. So close to the 3 dice. You know I'm just dreaming about those 3 dice. The question now is, do I commit to continue to trying to get him low enough for the 3 dice? Or do I cut my losses and just try to buy some other cards? I'm going to commit to it. Which means it's the wrong choice, but it's what I'm going to do. But I have a track. I'm going to stick to it. At least for one more. I'm going to give it one more go. Hoser reminds me to not forget about the frustration die, yes? Our frustration die is here. I'm allowed to use this once per game. And it has 5 sides, which are a success, so that's great. And 1 side, which means it's an instant loss. I end the game prematurely. It's always there. It's always an option, if I so choose. But I'm not there yet. So we are going to... Oh, it's tempting to get the conversation points just for the escape demand, but no. I'm just going to spend 1 to lower it again. And then we are going to try to get Barrett Mullins to reflect on the situation. Can you do that for me, Barrett? Can you just look around, think about your daddy, think about where you are right now in a room full of hostages, okay? See how you feel. When will my reflection show who Barrett Mullins is inside? All right, that's fine. We lowered him by 1. That's really all I can ask for. And since you're feeling so reflective right now, Barrett, we are going to go for the double and see if you can't reflect yet again. Just one more reflection, Barrett. Look deep into your soul. I know you can do it. I know you can do this. I've got to spend the cards. I've got to spend the cards. I don't want to spend the cards, but I've got to spend the cards. I don't want to spend the cards, but I'm spending the cards. Feels bad. Feels very bad. But for at least the rest of this round, I now get to roll 3 dice. I can't remember the last time that's happened on this stream. It's a rare occurrence. And with the gift of 3 dice, we're going to make some small talk. Barrett, what do you think about I can't think of anyone else with a beard. Thor. Well, sure, that's good. 1 success, 2 conversation points. Let's just go with it. Now, this is real tough. I really want to know what that escape demand is. I really want to know what that is. Because those can be bad if they're unrevealed from this deck. But then the only thing I'm going to be able to buy is Consider This. God, I wish that had been a 3. Which is just a reroll card. It doesn't help me by itself. But if I don't do it, something might happen where his threat level might go just swing back up. But I could buy something like... What could I even buy with 2? They're not even that good. So forget it. I'm going to spend the 1 to reveal his escape demand. Let's see what old Barrett wants. His escape demand is called, I'm going to vanish into thin air. I can spend 3 conversation points to remove this demand from play and replace it with a new one. I must immediately concede this demand when a gold pivotal event terror card is drawn. Are you kidding me? Wait, what? Oh, I see. Okay. So I have another timer now. 1 wasn't enough. If I don't spend 3 points to swap this out, he escapes before the final round takes place. That sucks. And I'll buy my stupid this card. Will recommends Paul Bunyan as a... I think it's spelled with a Y-A-N. I think you spelled it like a toe malfunction. Okay, so... All right. Once again, I cannot do anything. I can't do anything. I did it to myself. I knew this was going to happen, but I have nothing I can do for the round. So we're jumping right to another terror phase. It's going to be a quick game. Oh, those hostages, they're going to die. They're not making it out. No. I knew it. I hate this card. This is the bane of my existence. +1. Back into the 2 dice zone. But I did reveal this. It could have been a +2, so. Oh, and I got these cards back. What we got? We also got, let's see. Ernie suggests Gerard Butler, another beardo. Turikiri says, with all these timers, you'd think you're playing Resident Evil. Yeah, you'd think. And Hoser points out that I still have a lot of hostages left. It's a good observation, Hoser. Yeah, I've got 8, which you might recall is what we started with. Well, 9, actually, but one of them was dead, so... Yeah, there are a few, huh? Let's reflect on the situation. What do you think, Barrett? Reflect with me? That's fine. We're just going to take that L. No effect. No effect occurs. Because I'm not giving up on you, Barrett. I'm going to reflect again. We're going to reflect once more. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Nope, one went off the table. One went off the table. And also there's a 1 that went on the table. That was a success. I'm going to re-roll that die with that card. It's like having 3 dice. It's like the same thing as having 3 dice. Okay. Just processing. Just processing the events that have just taken place. I guess to summarize, for anyone who's having trouble following, if you don't know the rules as well as I do, I guess the best way to put it would be to say that I just threw these 3 cards into the trash. Just said, I don't want these cards. I just said, I don't need to play them. I don't need to use them. I don't need their effects. I don't need to just spend them for a point. I don't need them for anything. So I just threw them in the trash. I just threw them in the trash. Hoser says to keep my eye on the pension. Focus on the pension. Yep, that's what this is all about. Don't care about them. I don't care about them. I don't care about them. I don't care if you live or die. I want to get paid. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Paul Bunyan. Does Paul Bunyan have a... I guess he has a beard. Yeah, I guess so. Two points. 2 conversation points. But 10 more, and we've got something going here. How am I ever going to get 12 conversation points? I'm trying to figure it out. I truly... So, this card gives me +5. And then I have 2 of these cards. So, this is best case scenarios. Only the best possible rolls. I could get 8 from these 2. 11 with the other copy of this. And I can get a point for just trading 1 in. So theoretically, if I had hardball, small talk, we might really need to change our path here, huh? I think I'm seeing the writing on the wall. There's a lot of hostages and not a lot of cards. The name of the game from here on out might be getting as many cards that give me conversation points as I can, and then also getting any cards that give me advantage on rolls, like this one, which gives me extra dice. It's basically just this one. And rather than trying to save hostages little by little, just really banking my entire game plan on getting his papa on the line. That seems like the kind of thing that's sure to fail. But I don't see me succeeding the old-fashioned way, so I think we got to go for this road. Hoser says things could be worse. It could be a 20-year campaign. Wise words, Hoser, wise words. So, I'm going to play my other small talk in the hopes of getting more points to be able to maybe play hardball. Let's see how it goes. Didn't count because it slipped out of my hand. Didn't count because you didn't even see it. Didn't count because it slipped out of my hand. It slipped out of my hand. It slipped out of my hand. Slipped. Now, those didn't slip. Those were straight and true, rolled from my hand as if from the wrists of a god. And that gives us 5 conversation points. I can always spend that 3 to change this out for something else, but maybe if I pull this off, I won't need it. Let's buy Play Hardball and a reroll card. But I'm not going to be spending them until I have everything back in my possession. Actually, what I'll also do is before I finish the round, I'm just going to spend both of these just to get a point apiece. So I have a total of 7. So that leaves me with 2 left over. And I'll also grab You're in a Tight Spot. I Can Help. I forgot about this card over here. Little compromise. That's fine, I guess. If I can really group up like all of my rerolls, my conversation points, just go all in for this to get his father on the line, I think that's my best hope. I'm not saving 8 hostages before this game is over. No, it's not going to happen. Oh, boy, I'm nervous. All right. Barrett, you son of a gun. He's over here. He's over here. Yep. Terror time. Oh, he's got a new minor demand. He wants some media coverage. Barrett Mullins wants to get on the old TV, he does. I can concede this in order to take any conversation card from the available area into my hand for free. If I do, his threat level goes up by 2. But that's not so bad to get a free card. Immediately. I get it right away. Interesting. Something to think about. Something to think about for the future. Hoser says Barrett has a beard made for TV. I'd say he does. So I'm not doing anything this turn. Yeah, I'm holding on to all this stuff. How many turns do I have left before I'm done? 4 turns if I don't get rid of that and I lose. I'm putting all my eggs in this basket. And they're going to end up on my face. Another terror card, please. Oh, but I get these back. Yes. Got a lot of cards in my hand now. Look at this. Whoa. Why, let's see. Theoretically, if I play off all of these and they succeed for me, I could get my 12 points off this hand. You know I'm not going to. Hey, it could be the time. Could be the time. We'll see. Not yet. First the terror card. I got time. What do you got for me, Barrett? I like talking to you, he says. Oh. I may choose to gain 2 points, 2 conversation points right now. Oh, that would put me even closer to my goal. Huh. Well, now, I think this is all right, according to the wording of the card. Sorry to keep you all in suspense as I read this to only myself. I'm a good streamer. If I choose to gain 2 points, then during the next conversation, no hostages may be saved. May be saved. Okay? The wording on this card is that if I succeed, Barrett releases all hostages. I think that's different. That's an edge case. Someone's going to have to figure that out, but I'm going to say that's 2 different things. I'm not saving them if he releases them. So, and I also don't want the threat to increase because I really want it to go down. So I'm going to take the 2 conversation points right now. Which means I only need 10 to succeed. I hate how possible it actually sounds. It really does seem like I could do it. But all it takes to fail is to just not roll the dice. That's all it takes is to just fail. But man, what a dream, isn't it? So it's my turn right now. I've got 2 points in the bank. I really wish I could spend the card to get him down to the 3 dice. I just want that. I need that. I really need that so badly. Or I could take... I mean, I could try to do it... I could try to do it now, or I could go 1 more round and build up even more and get another reroll. Maybe another you're in a tight spot. You know? But the first thing I think I have to do, I just have to try to get him to reflect and lower his anger again. I got to get that 3 dice. I've got to get that. It's imperative to my success if I want any hope at all. I do have you're in a tight spot. I would like another you're in a tight spot. Wait a minute. What? That's weird. I don't remember that being a thing. Huh. Should have used that to my advantage. Too late. Don't mind me just reading things to myself. Okay. Let's go ahead and roll. Let's see if we can make him a little less angry. We want you down in the green zone, my dude. That's a success. That's all I was looking for. We get a 3rd die. Now this is the moment of truth. The The moment of truth. Do I go for it or not? Do I go for it or do I wait? The problem is this could end up raising the threat again, and then I'm just back to where I started, and I never know what's going to happen. I think I go for it now. Plus, I got this bump of 2 points. I'm not going to have that next time. I think I got to go for it. I mean, I'm going to play one card, and we're going to find out if it's gonna work in my favor or not. I've got it because the first one is really so pivotal. I've got to play You're in a Tight Spot. This is going to potentially give me more dice for my next roll, which I'm then going to use on Play Hardball. How many cards? Hold on. How many cards do I have in my hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 cards in my hand. I mean, I'm close to being able to get this from my cards alone. What's the play here? I feel like there's a way for me to math this out right now. Hoser says I'm a 9-year veteran, so he'll trust my judgment. I'm definitely going for it. I'm going to get his dad on the line. You remember, even if I spend the 12 points, this is not a guarantee. So that's a lot of fun. All this build up for how exciting that's going to be, and it still might just fail. And if that happens, I'm just conceding and I'm letting these hostages die. I don't care about a single one of them. Let's say I only played this card. I think I just got to go about this the way I originally planned to. I can't be doing this math right now. I'm in a tight spot. We're going to see he's in a tight spot. I'm going to ask him I'm going to roll some dice and see what the icon says. Oh, and it gives me a point too. So that's pretty good. That's actually, as long as I get like one success, it's definitely worth playing this over spending it as a point. And hopefully I don't have to use a reroll. Why do I do it? Can anyone tell me? Why do I allow myself to believe that good things can happen when time and time again crushing disappointment is all that I know? You can see here I've rolled a 1 and a 2, which are both blanks. Fortunately, I had 3 dice. The one that went off screen over here is also a 1. This is going downhill quickly. Really just one of those could have been a success, and I would have felt pretty good about it. A reroll feels bad, but if I don't, I lose a die on my next threat roll, which is the opposite of what I had intended to occur. I could cut my losses, and I could take my 2 points, purchase this card again, and start it fresh next round as if nothing happened, with 1 foot closer in the grave. But I don't really want to do that. Let's just go for it. In for a penny, as they say. Let's reroll. Let's reroll a die. Boy, the numbers are dwindling. Oh, God. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna re-roll one of these dice. Sorry for I'm drawing it out. Let's just re-roll one of these dice. The thing is, even if it's a 4, that's real bad news for me because I was banking on having all these cards. That was pretty much my plan. Okay, it's a failure. So what happens is I now have 2 dice to roll on whatever my next. I forget. I'm just gonna stop. Forget it. This was my best shot. I have 3 turns before I get those cards. I can't get the 1 card back because I spent money for that card. That card cost us points. It cost points. That card cost me some points. I lost my reroll. I lost my reroll card. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was 9. Yeah. 2 dice. 2 dice. I'm just computating all of the possible failures that I can have right now. And there's a lot of failures I could have. I could have so many. Just endless. Let's just call it. That's going to spend my 2 points on the same card that just let me down. Oh, now does that mean... Now this says -1 die to your next threat roll. Does that mean it carries over beyond this conversation? So even if I stop early, I'm punished? I gotta look this up. I gotta see if this carries over from round to round or if it's a one-off. Of course, if you search Google for Hostage Negotiator, it doesn't matter what other terms come up. I'm just getting stories about hostage negotiators. I've got to assume that it carries over. It doesn't say next threat roll this round. It just says next threat roll. I'm still stopping early. I'm taking this card. You're watching it. Now I'm just mad. I'm just grumpy. Can you blame me? Let's put these cards back over here. And a new tarot card comes out. Roll a die. If it's less than or equal to the threat level, someone dies. They don't. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Okay. Where were you? Okay, that's fine. Back to me now. Thanks for watching, everybody. Why do you tune in? I don't know. Do I go for the same strat? Oh man, this really hurts. This hurts. Hurts, don't it? I'm in almost the exact same position, only this time I don't have 2 points to begin with. 2 rounds to go. I mean, yeah, at this point, there's no backup plan. It's this or nothing. But I also can't... I really can't afford to play any cards. But then I don't have any points to buy any cards. I could get 1 more back into my hand. Do I just wait? It seems like a very bad decision to just wait for 1 card. Oh, God. 4, 5. So those all give me 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. I would need. Oh, man. I'm sorry. This is the worst stream. I just want you to know this is the worst stream. But thanks for watching anyway. Next threat roll. What? It doesn't matter. Oh, man. If I play a card now, I will get it back in another turn. No, but the game's gonna. When does he run away? Oh, if it's drawn. So yeah, I have 2 turns left. All right, we're just gonna go all in. So we'll make small talk with 2 dice. I don't know if that's supposed to be what I'm doing, but I'm giving myself the penalty because I hate myself. I don't know. I mean, yes. I don't know if that's why. Next threat roll. Next threat roll. It says this is my next threat roll. Yeah. Friggin' G.I. friggin' Joe. Why? It's fine. No big deal. I got 1 point. Conversation ends. I'll spend my point on one of the reroll cards. And I get this back. Terror card. He has another demand. I can concede it to add 2 dice to a threat roll. He wants a radio now. This guy's media crazy all of a sudden. But then the conversation ends after the next card is resolved if I do that. This one I may do. So I think now my plan is to play nothing. This is so bad. Hoser says he's here for the drama and to tempt me into using the frustration die. Oh, I'm tempted. I'm pretty tempted, but not yet. We're still going to get 1 more terror card, which really could just, if it raises the threat level, I mean, it's just going to throw such a monkey into the works. I don't know what the phrases are. So I'm going to take this. I'm doing all of this for this card. It's just I want that back. I just want a full hand. Let's see what our final terror card is. All right, I make a threat roll. No big deal. Somebody dies. They died. Whatever. Whatever. That one didn't escape. All right, this is it. Last round. If I draw that, he gets out of here. So this is for all of the marbles. Once again, I'm trying the scheme, and we'll see if it works. And once again, I think I gotta start with "you're in a tight spot, I can help." Because so much hinges on play hardball. I'm really dying for this top result to get 5 points. That's the most important thing I have. If I can get that 5 points, that alone, I would be good. So I'm rolling 3 dice. This is familiar. We've been here before. Folks, the thing about dice is that they are a bad game design. People who put dice in their games are bad people. Probably should be tried by law and given a very severe punishment. That's just the thing I've learned about dice. Guess I'll go ahead and re-roll one of those. I guess I'll just re-roll one of those dice, huh? Just re-roll a die. Okay, let's just re-roll one of those. It's almost like having 4 dice. Let's see if I can get 3 ones. I want to get a snake eye with 3 eyes. This is some kind of a mutant snake. How was that card worded again? You feel yourself tiring of this life. Yep. Rings true more now than ever. It flew off the table. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to look at it. It's Schrodinger's die over there. I can't look at it. I should just roll a new one. Oh, but what if it's a success? Nah. I can't look at that one. Here's the thing. We all know if it rolls off the table, it doesn't count. That's established as law. If it's off the table, it doesn't count unless it's in your favor. Okay? Let's see, where's that? All right. I guess this is what I deserve. It's a 4. Yes, Hoser, that was frustration ASMR. I hope you liked it. Ernie wants to see how well these dice float because they're so weighted. It's a 4, so I could spend 2 cards to turn that into a success. Let's just do it. We got to take what we can get. I get 1 conversation point. And I get 1 die added to my next threat roll, which means 4 dice. And the card I'll be playing is Play Hardball. This is no longer going to do it for me by itself. That ship sailed. We're going to need to put in more work from here on out. 4 dice. I could make it 5. I don't want to make it 5. I can't. The frustration die, it's too risky. Oh, those 2 successes, though, are almost pivotal. If I could get those 2 successes, I would really... Chat, I'm letting you decide. Do I add the 5th die, which could result in a complete game over? It's a 1 in 6 chance on this die And you know my luck. But if I get 2 successes, it's could start a train rolling that will lead me to victory. All right, the chat wants it. The chat's hungry for blood. It's going in. This is on you. This is on all of you. When we get this little X here, just know you did this. You. 5 dice. 5 dice at Freddy's. Here we go. I'm gonna roll them over here, where there's more green table space, so they're not messing up the cards. Four successes. As a result, one hostage is saved. I did not lose the game. The frustration die has done its job and now will exit. And I get 5 conversation points, bringing me to a total of 6. Halfway to what I need. Okay. Hoser says I'll never see a roll like that again. You got that right. Next up, we're making small talk. We've got a hydrate from Dorakiryu. Good water. Now, +3 would be great, but I can still survive with as long as I get at least 1 success here. There's still a chance I win, and we've got 3 dice. So let's roll them bones. I don't have any rerolls. I can't afford to spend any cards, so 4s are no good to me anymore. At all. Well, it would really put me in a bind. Let's put it that way. So 5s and 6s is what we need here. 5s and 6s. What do we got? Look, hands above the table. I am just going to slide them over. Two successes. The tension builds. This brings us to a total of 9 conversation points. And I have 3 cards left in my hand. Which means I don't have to roll again. I can play each of these face down. To bring my total up to 12 points. So we can let Barrett Mullins talk to his father. Beep. I wish this counted as a threat roll, because if it did, I'd give him his radio to get an extra 2 dice. But it doesn't count as that. Now, just as a reminder again, don't celebrate just yet. This is not over. I gotta go get that die. Actually, no, yeah, I gotta go get the die. Okay. The way this works is I have to roll all 5 dice. And in order to win, I need a 16. It has to be, my total result has to be greater than 15 off of 5 d6s. I'll let you guys do the math, but I mean, if they're all 3s, that doesn't cut it, you know? We need some higher numbers. This is it. This is it. 50, I need a 16. I need 16 on these dice. I need slightly better than the halfway minimum. I need all. You know what I mean. Or as Duracurious says, all I need is 3 6s. That's true. Here we go. Here we go, folks. By the way, I don't think I even could add the frustration die if I wanted to, if I hadn't used it already, because I think this is just for threat rolls, which are a separate distinction. Same reason I can't give him the radio for this one. Not a threat roll. Here we go. Am I about to save a bunch of hostages or watch a lot of people die? We did it. That's a 20 right there, folks. And you know what a 20 is here. A crit. Which means Barrett releases all hostages. And surrenders peacefully. He has been captured by this guy, Frankie Pants. The chat's going wild. Dorio Curious redeemed a stretch. What can I say? I'm pretty good. Hostage Negotiator. Ooh. Now I should get a pencil to mark down what just happened, but I don't feel like getting up. We're going to jump right to the next section. You all understand what happened. We don't need to mark it anymore. It's time. Well, first we're going to draw now a personal card to close out year 9. Personal event. Here we go. Let's see what happens. It has been a good year. You have trained hard and done your job well. Buzzy Cohen. The chief approaches you one day with a problem. She tells you that she needs to let someone go and wants your opinion on the underperformers. Probably me. I can take the easy way out and tell the chief that decision is above my pay grade. Or give the chief my 2 cents. I don't take the easy way out. I'm about to retire. I want to take somebody down with me. And also, you know, there's a lot of bad cops out there. So it's probably, odds are, like, you spin a wheel, you're going to land on somebody who deserves to get fired. So let's tell her what we think. She tells you that it is between Sarah and Gordon. Uh-oh, not Commissioner, I hope. Sarah is nice, but not very effective. Gordon is a real prick, but does usually get the job done. Who should it be, Gordon or Sarah? Choose before reading below. Hoser wanted me to say it was above my pay grade because if I tattle, the next one will be my villain. Too late. Now the chat has to decide, do we fire Sarah, who is nice but bad at her job? Or Gordon, who's a prick but usually gets the job done? I'm thinking Gordon. I'm thinking this he usually gets the job done. We don't need this guy on the force giving cops a bad name. I think he's got to go. Will says Sarah if she'll be the next villain because she'll be nicer. There's no Sarah or Gordon in the decks unless there's a secret envelope that I don't know about. We're going for Gordon. If I suggest Gordon, I lose 1 career stress. Well, that's nice since I'm at max. And I gain a new stressor, colleagues. This was the right choice, and I will tell you why in a second. Colleagues. It's the right choice because the alternative would have just given me +1 personal stress and also -1 career stress. But I have a card that lets me skip the stressor phase, and I only have 1 of those left. So they can give me all the stressors they want. Unless it tells me at the end of the game I lose points for that or something, but whatever. All right. Mark your career sheet with the result of the negotiation. If one occurred this year, then apply the effects below. Successful negotiation, that's the 1, +1 merits. Boom. -1 career stress. -1 personal stress. And gain reward, a promotion. Now, let me find my reward cards over here. Do I have a promotion card left? Thought I used... Oh, no, there is 1 promotion card left, so it's the one I'm drawing. Immediate. Remove this card from the game and increase your rank. You have been promoted. Guess what, everyone? I'm officially a sergeant. Hard to beat that. Now, I didn't even have to roll for it, and my merit's pretty good. As if there, I mean, this is enough action-packed goodness for an entire stream easily. But we're not stopping here. We're finishing this sucker. We're going 1 more. We're getting career year 10 out of the way. I'd love to go off this high note tonight, but we're just going to finish to the misery that it's going to be. Inevitably. And I realized I really should get a pencil because I do want to mark down my hostage numbers. Oh, there's a pencil right over there. It's on the desk. Not so bad. I can grab that. I knew I kept it close by. So, this would be against our friend Barrett. I won. He surrendered, so captured. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 saved, 2 killed. Now you'll notice here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 wins to 4 losses. So believe it or not, I have a 50-50 win rate over the course of these 10 years. Plus 1 abstain or something. All right. So get rid of Barrett. And we'll put these conversation cards back in place. Also get rid of this terror card, and this escape demand, and this is terror card, and this pivotal terror card. We'll figure that out later. Hostages we'll figure out later. Just quickly reset all of this. The 0 costs. This 4 cost. Okay. And now we're going to head right in to the final year. So, as you know, we normally begin with a stressor event, but that's not for me. I'm going to use my stability. That's right. I have stability to skip the stressor phase. Colleagues, debt, doesn't bother me none. I don't care. Don't care about that. What I do care about is the final card here, Career Year 10. It's been a long road, everybody. A long road filled with lots of cheating, but that doesn't make it count any less. Please join us in honoring one of our own at their retirement party. Oh, finally. I worked long and hard as a sergeant, and now I get to retire. Oh, that reminds me. I should fill that in there. Yeah. Sergeant. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. All right. Here we go. Duracure asked whatever happened to that clown. Sicko, the one who kidnapped my wife. I think he escaped. It's fine. You've come so far in your career. Oh, also, I didn't finish reading the card. It's my retirement party. Dr. Roslin is coordinating the event. Please RSVP to 555 COPE by Friday, end of day. Get ready. You've come so far in your career, and you feel like you could even run the show as chief. I really could. I'd be good at it. It isn't going to be easy, and you're not sure how she'll react to you challenging for the role. I thought I was retiring. I'm trying to get chiefs, but I'm not. I just became a sergeant. Also, I'm sorry, I hate to point this out. Before we continue, but they used the wrong your. It says it should be you apostrophe RE. Just, that's all. It's everyone makes mistakes. The importance of proofreading is all I'm trying to stress here. Then it has a little note about if I do not have an alternate finale pack 1, because with the Kickstarters and everything, not everybody has all the stuff, but I'm pretty sure I have that. Or if I just want a different ending, I could discard this. But I guess I'll just, what do we think? Should I challenge the chief? Well, my choices on this card are to inform the chief of my intent to run against her, or wait for another promotion. What do we think? Should I tell her I'm gunning for her, or should I stand back and wait for the promotion? Have I earned the right to do this? Hoser says wait. I do have a pretty good merit right now. All right. Dorikiri says to take hostages and challenge her that way. Kamui says promotion. All right. We'll hang back. We will wait for another promotion. I think that's the sensible move. I have a decent merit, so if they let me roll for a promotion, I might get another one. Lieutenant would be pretty good. So let's see. There isn't a ton of time since the election is next year, but you decide to wait to see if you get promoted again. Roll for promotion. It's not often that I get to do this, so I just always need to make sure what I'm rolling for. I'm assuming lower. Yes. I need to be lower than my current level. So I need a 1 through 3, so it's a 50-50 shot. I do have a reroll. I have one card that lets me reroll merit check, so 50-50 shot. I get 2 chances to get promoted right now. I say 50-50 shot, but let's face it. We all know those are not the actual odds. It's just not how this game works. First roll was a 1, so I will have to use my resolve to reroll that. Hey! Oh no, wait, a 1 is good. Wait, a 1 is good. I forgot that a 1 is good. Never mind. I didn't re-roll it. A 1's good I wanted. That's good. Usually a 1 is bad, folks. I got a promotion. I got a promotion. Is it that easy? Yeah, I've been promoted. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. I didn't do that. I didn't know I was supposed to do that. Oh, no. I didn't know I was supposed to do that. I mean, to be fair, it happened so rarely. I never even realized. I forgot because I never got promoted ever except for once. I have rank cards that I'm supposed to be using. So I should have had this detective card earlier. I got to add a conversation card of 4 or... Wait, what does that mean? I don't know from where. You may add any conversation card of cost 4 or greater to your conversation card set. Does that mean like this? Like this guy? Or are they saying to my personal, maybe just to start with? Could have used that in the last game, obviously, but I don't know what that means. We'll put that in the back burner and try to figure that out. And then just now, I should have got the Sergeant card. Immediately gain reward advanced skill. A lot of things are happening, guys. Advanced skill. So I get to take a random advanced skill, which I'm not sure if I've ever had one of those before. And my skill is... Whoa! I thought we were going to end the game without experiencing some of this. We're in for a treat tonight. This is going to be this is an epic stream. I hope you guys get your drinks and popcorn. My advanced skill, I get to open special box D1 and remove this card from the game. I didn't think I was going to open any of these boxes, people. I really thought I just missed out on this. But there are 3 little boxes in the career box. And I am going to be opening D1. D1. What could be inside of D1? We're going to find out. Oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? Oh, what's this in my hot little hands? All right. Okay. It's a green die. The successes are still on the 5 and the 6, but the 3 and the 4 both have the double card success conversion symbol. Okay. Okay. There's no instructions in here, so I assume I just get to sub this in from now on for any of my basic threat dice. There's still 2 more of these in there. I don't know if they're all the same or if they have different odds on them. And I dropped this one. But that is die number 1, and we now have it available to us. And we're not done yet, because I also just got promoted to lieutenant. This is wild. A lot's happening here. And the lieutenant card says, You may add any 2 conversation cards costing 2 or more to your conversation card set. Well, now I obviously really need to figure out what my conversation card set means. My conversation card set. Is that my... place your chosen deck. Just don't worry about the silence right now. Talk amongst yourselves. This seems like it'd be really good. I'm trying to figure out, where do they use the phrase conversation card set? Take the 6 starting conversation cards. Take the remaining. I don't know what this means. I gotta look this up. I'm really kind of confused about. Do they just go? Do I take more cards like this from outside the game and put them into the pool? I guess that's what it means, but I don't know where. I'm just sort of confused by it. I'm gonna try one more time to look this up. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Here we go. Somebody asked about this. I found it. Add a card of cost 4 or greater from the set I'm not using. Correct. All right. Okay. So I get to turn to the other guy's cards once again. So first I get 1 cost 4 or greater. These are all the 0 costs. What did I do with... Oh, here they are. Nope. Nope. Where are the other cards that I need right now? I can't find them. Where are they? Okay, I guess I have to get the whole box over here because I can't even see them. I probably threw them somewhere thinking that I wouldn't need them at all, but now I do. Okay, found them. So a 4 cost. We're just going to have a lot of options here. I guess I'll go with more threat reduction. I'll go with, it's one of these two. I mean, I kind of have that already. I'll go with a bold lie, I guess. I'm not going to be able to fit all these on the screen. And then I get to take 2 more 2 costs. I have the power of 2 people. I guess I could add these back in that I took out before. We'll do just a few more minutes, and you need to trust me. Well, I already have the other one, so those are the other options. Okay, so all this business is out of the way. I have fully leveled up. I'm a lieutenant now. I'm gonna have to reorganize this stuff, all these cards for my final showdown. There we go. And finally, I get to open another thing. I'm not a captain. Look at me. Look at me. I am not the captain now. I get to open alternate finale pack 1. Dear God, there's just a lot. There's a lot going on here. So alternate finale pack 1. It's in here now. Career finale. This envelope. C3, C4. Do not open until instructed. Yeah, where's alternate finale? Did I not draw alternate finale? Oh boy, there's going to be egg on my face if I don't actually have that envelope. But I thought I had all of them. Uh-oh, I should have checked. What if I have to undo everything I just did? These are just cards. Those are those. C. Is it the ones that say just a C on it? No, I opened those before. Career finale C4. Oh no, now I gotta. This is why streaming is bad, because now I have to figure out what even do I own. There's too many. There's too many things. There's just too much stuff that I have, and I don't even know if I have it all. This really should have been 2 streams. Obviously, this was a mistake. But we're in too deep now. I'm just stuck in this now. What did I get? Somebody tell me what I ordered. It says alternate finale number 2 is listed as one of my. I see that, so I must have alternate finale number 1. That's not a finale. Where are these envelopes? Just give me a second. I don't know what's in this box. Is it in here? Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Now, what's that? That's also. I don't know what the C1 is. Why aren't they labeled more clearly? Traits, rank, demands. I'm sweating. It's warm in here. Those aren't envelopes. I don't know what this is for, by the way. I've got a pouch. I don't know what that's for. This is your cue to go to the bathroom right now. This is not content you really need to be here for, folks. I'm sorry to tell you. Do I not have this envelope? I should have something that says alternate finale. It really seems like I'm supposed to have that. Dear God. I've got career finale. I've got the main finale pack, which I'm not supposed to open. I think these just have cards in them. I've got C1 through 4. I think I opened one of these already. I got something out of one of those. Where's the other? I don't have any other envelopes. Guys, this is a disaster. I'm melting down. I am melting down. It's not under anything. What does it look like? What does it look like? Wait, is it an envelope or a... Oh, I have cards that are alternate. It's not a... It said envelope, though. I might not have this. I might not be able to do this. I thought I had everything. Chat's trying to calm me down. Ernie says breathe in, breathe out. Hoster says, no wonder my dice roll poorly. I'm supposed to store them in the pouch to infuse them with positive Hostage Negotiator energy. Well, I wish I had known that the whole time. Alternate finale pack 1. I don't have a pack. Guys, I don't... Wait. No. That can't be right. What's all that? This is the worst stream. Now look, no, that can't be it. I've got alternate finale cards, but I have alternate finale 2 cards. Why don't I have alternate finale... Oh, I do have alternate finale 1 cards also. But if I have alternate finale cards, did I take them out of an envelope? Maybe I took them out of the envelope when I first got the game to sort them. Folks, this is the danger of Kickstarter. This is what happens when you make a game, and then you make an expansion to that game, and then you make dozens of promos for that game, and then you make a third game that combines all of those games with new things for the game, I lose track of what's going on. Sorry for turning into Wallace Shawn for a second there. I've got to assume that I look at the alternate finale 1 cards. I think that at some point I must have removed these from the envelope. This has to be the contents of it. Why would I have alternate finale cards and not. I sound like a raving lunatic. I sound insane. And of course, these are secret, so um, I can't just like Google what's in this thing. uh, Ernie says that my Wallace Shawn reference is insane. Insane or inconceivable? Let's see. I'm looking at a list of components now. Alternate finale 1 and 2. I think this is right. Alternate finale pack. Yes, you could purchase this separately. 14 additional cards. Yes. Guys, I think this is what happened. When this game got kickstarted by me, um, I opened these in advance. I must have disposed of the envelopes to fit everything in the box and forgot that I did that. All of this will be edited out for the YouTube version. So now I've just made a mess. I have here a set of alternate finale 1 cards. And on the subject of Wallace Shawn, Ernie says that he might have a dinner for 2 and think about whether it's insane or inconceivable. I see what you're doing, Ernie. I see you, as the Na'vis say. Anyway, now that we're all back on the same page again, let's read the alternate finale 1 prologue, shall we? The prologue. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, here we go. Let's read this card. I don't know what is going on. The chief of police is an elected position, and although it requires law enforcement experience, you certainly exceed the minimum requirements. They don't know me at all. Taking the chief's job isn't going to be easy, though. You are going to have to win the vote over a chief whom has been reelected multiple times. But you wouldn't be trying if you didn't think you could win. You just told me I was doing this. Besides, it's either this or retirement at this point. I would love to retire. You are going to have to do everything you can to impact the polls. Okay. Finale rules. Remove the matching ending cards A, B, and C, placing them aside face down. Shuffle the remaining 10 cards to create the finale deck. Okay, remove the matching ending cards, so alternate ending A, ending B, and ending C, face down, and shuffle the remaining 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, to form the finale deck. I don't know what's happening. This is like a different game. I don't know what they're doing. Then it says, take 1 die for each star in your rank. You may choose which dice you select. This is your dice pool. So my current rank is lieutenant, which has 4 stars. Glad I got that promotion. Obviously, I'm going to take the new die I got and 3 regular dice. Not this one. That doesn't count. Note that in this finale, you may discard 2 traits or unused rewards to convert a 4 into a success. But you may not discard corrupt or defiant in this way. Okay, so that's not going to do me any good because I only have these 2 and one of them's corrupt, so I can't use it. So I won't get to use that power, but that's cool that it was available to me. No, wait, I have... No, I should have another one. Is it under here? Oh, yeah, I have Resolve. I have Resolve because I didn't use that. So actually, I have 2 cards. So I have an extra chance to convert a success. That's cool. During this finale, you'll be gaining pull points, or PP. Take 1 hostage token for each pull point you gain. This is insane. This has become a political thriller. I don't know what's going on. Do I even use this stuff? What's happening? And then it just says, when ready... I know this is at a slight angle, but I apologize. When ready, draw the first card from the finale deck. Okay, we ready for this? I didn't build a terror deck. I don't know if there's not an abductor. I'm running for a political. I don't know what's happening. Here we go. First card. Let's see what it says. The chief has decided to resort to smear ad campaigns against you. I don't blame her at all. There's a lot of good material. The thing about smear campaigns is that they work. But at what cost? What are you going to do about this? Well, you know what? When they go low, we go high. My choices are to launch a smear campaign of your own or rise above it. Let's face it. I don't have a chance in hell. I'm not going to smear her better than she's going to smear me. I'm a disaster. I've got to try to take the high ground. So let's find out how that goes. Despite what your campaign manager tells you, you do not authorize a smear campaign against the chief. Oh, my campaign advisor wanted me to do it? I should have listened. A few third-party lobbyist groups do, though. Oh, they did my dirty work for me. And your poll numbers seem to be rising. Roll a die for each of the following, up to the maximum you have in your pool, and gain 1 poll point for each success rolled. The loyalty trait, I do not have that. The stability traits, I did have that, but I spent it. You do not have the corrupt trait. I do. Your career stress is 1. It's not. Your personal stress is 1. It's not. So let me just calculate for a second here. That means I get to roll a total of 0 dice. So I will not be gaining any poll points from that campaign. Unfortunately. Because I'm corrupt. And I'm not loyal. And I'm not stable. And I'm stressed. Resolve the next card. Next. Your campaign manager recommends a public presentation at the downtown library is a great chance for you to share your expertise and qualifications with the voters. The only problem is, it conflicts with a dinner meeting you had set up with the mayor to discuss your plans for the department's future. You can only do one. Present at the library or meet with the mayor. Again, I feel like I don't really have any expertise or qualifications, so I think meeting with the voters most likely could only harm my chances. If I get in good with the mayor, that could be nice for me. And I already set that up in advance. It doesn't look good if I'm canceling appointments. We haven't even set up this presentation yet. I gotta meet with the mayor. Obviously, this is a big deal. Sorry, people. I'm meeting with the mayor. So, the chance to get the mayor's endorsement is too good of a chance to pass up. You meet with him and the meeting goes well. He tells you that he will decide who to endorse in the coming days. Oh my God. Roll all of your dice. Gonna roll all the dice first and then we'll see what it means. I don't... I don't think we're playing a game this round, so I'm just gonna make this the die space. That's what we got. If you rolled successes equal to or greater than the number below based on your rank, the mayor has endorsed you. My rank is lieutenant, and the number is 2. The mayor is endorsing me. The mayor's on my side, and I gain 3 poll points. I knew I did the right thing. But what does that mean? The 3 poll points are separate from the mayor. It doesn't say I take a card or anything. It just says the mayor has endorsed me. If it comes up again, just remember the mayor has endorsed me. I don't know what that means. Resolve the next. They all say resolve the next card, and if it's the last one, you do something depending on how many points you have. So right now I've got 3 points. So we're going through this deck. 10 cards. In an effort to connect directly with the voting base, you start going door to door, attending fish fries, barbecues, and any other public event where you can shake hands with voters. See, now we're connecting with the people. I can share my experience as a negotiator and what I've accomplished and what I'll do as chief, or share about myself as a person. Get to know your base and truly connect with them on a personal level. Ooh, these are both bad. I'm not a good hostage negotiator, and I'm also not a good person. My personal stress is okay right now, so I might get something good out of that. And actually, it's been pretty good for most of the game. I guess I'm a better person than I am a hostage negotiator. Now let's go with the stats. They don't need to get to know the real me. I have some rocky. I mean, I did save my wife that one time. I've got a happy marriage. Any suggestions in the chat? Do I tell them about my career? Let's go personal because it might just literally strictly be based on these two ranks. Let's go personal. That was my first instinct. You can tell that people appreciate you opening up about yourself and talking about something other than law enforcement or politics. You just hope the stress in your life didn't show through. Roll your dice. All right, let's roll them again. Okay. Gain 1 poll point for each result higher than your personal stress. Okay, those are really unfortunate, considering how qualified I should have been for this. Wait, are you serious? Oh, no. For real? All right, this one's a freaking wash. I gain 1 point for each result higher than my personal stress. And I lose 1 point for each result lower. So, net 0. Come on. What? 2 ones? All I needed was a 2. 2 ones? Come on. What do these people know anyway? Next card. A local reporter asks for a one-on-one interview to give the voters a sense of who the lieutenant really is. As they put it. You realize this could be a very good thing or a very bad thing. I can be honest and open during the interview or tell a white lie or omit the truth as needed. These people, they are too sensitive to hear the truth. We've got to lie. You dodge a few bullets and step over a couple of landmines the reporter tried to bait you into. Afterward, you feel pretty slimy, realizing how much like a politician you have become. It's what we have to do to win, your campaign manager tells you. You sneer and head home to take a shower in an attempt to wash off all the slime. gain corrupt, and then I gain points equal to my corruption level. So since I already have corrupt, this moves up. I never even marked it because it never went up after my first corruption gain. So I will do that now. Where's my little baggie? Whatever, I'll just use this. So my corruption level is now 2. So I get 2 more pull points. Corruption is paying off already. Next. The cats are fighting. I hope you can't hear that. You show up at the local university and enter the auditorium to participate in a town hall debate. The major issue that seems to be at the forefront of the debate is whether every officer should be required to wear a body camera or not. I'm going to argue for body cams, even though, according to this, it will be a huge burden on the department financially. No, we want the votes. I don't care about the... Stop fighting. They're just playing. All right. We want body cams. We're in favor of that. The crowd cheers. As you... Oh my God, these cats... Would you cut it out? We're live, folks. Hey. You don't even think about it. Don't do it. How am I supposed to get elected with you fighting? Do you know how this is going to reflect on me if the public thinks that I can't control my cats? The cats are not in the mood for a video. But maybe if this ends victoriously, I'll bring them on for a victory lap. Anyway, the crowd cheers as you give a passionate speech about how body cams must be implemented across 100% of the force. But while the crowd loves it, you get beat up in the papers the next day, which claim the only way to pay for such a program would be to raise taxes. Roll your dice. Oh, come on. I really just wanted to save that one so I didn't have to move. Where did it go? It was a success before it slid off the table. You all saw it. What? Well, this is bad. I get a point for each success. And if I rolled any blanks, I lose a die. So much for that. I'll zoom in on these dice. You don't need all this other nonsense. I don't think we need any of this. We're just focusing in on the points. All right, down to 3 dice. Let's see how this goes. You have an all-important decision to make about how much of your budget to use on yard signs. While they never seem to make a difference in your eyes, your advisors insist they're important for getting support at the polls. I can spend the recommended 10% on yard signs of my budget, or get aggressive and spend 20%. No, I'll just use the recommended. I don't care about yard signs. The signs are spread around town, but it doesn't take you long to realize the chief has one-upped you in terms of how much her campaign spent on signs. Ah, dang it. Roll your dice. Whoa. I hope that's good, because it might not be. Oh, no effect. If the sum had been lower, I might have lost some points, but it turned out to be fine. The successes didn't even matter. I just needed, the fact that I got a 12 or higher meant nothing happened. All right, next. We're past the halfway point. Your record on hostages comes out via a media story. Uh-oh. It seems someone in the department shared all your records and results. The chief insists she had nothing to do with it. You don't know if you believe her or not. Hey. No. I can say one of the following 2 options. What are you doing right now? Why are you doing this? Don't do it. There's no need for you to be doing this. Folks, I apologize. I can say everything starts at the top and she was in charge the whole time, or Tragic events happen every day in law enforcement. I've learned a lot and will apply that knowledge as chief. Yeah, I like that. I think that sounds wise. I should acknowledge it, face up to the facts. I'm not gonna go low. This is just the way the career goes. Will says first option is to blame her. I'm not thinking like a politician is the problem. You're thinking like Albert Fish now. Um, Will and Hoser want me to hunt the chief down and take hostages. That sounds fun. Ernie says I should start thinking to roll 12 or higher instead of 5s and 6s. What is the matter? Why are you having a tantrum right now? It's fine. Guys, chaos has descended upon me. Okay, we're going to try. It's probably going to fail, but we're going to try to do the morally correct thing. Your attempt to take ownership of the situation doesn't go over very well. Guys, this is bad. You realize the emotions of the public need to be managed, and good politics might sometimes require manipulation. Your record as a negotiator could cost you at the polls. Now, there's good news here. Gain +1 die for the rest of the finale. I got my die back. Then I lose a certain amount of points based on how many hostages I've let die. Of which the total number is, let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 19, 20, 23, 25, 26, 27, 20. Somewhere in the vicinity of 29. And for 17 or more, I lose 2 points. I'm not doing so great in the polls. Not doing so great. Ernie thinks maybe I just killed my voters. That's true. Basically, yeah, if they had survived, they would have voted for me. I should have played dirty, but I didn't do it. Next. With just a few weeks left until voting day, a third-party candidate has become a force in the election. Uh-oh. And is now leading the polls. You quickly pull together a strategy meeting with the team to discuss how to deal with this threat. I can collaborate with the Chiefs team or figure this out with my own team. What do we think? Is the enemy of my enemy my friend? I think on our own we haven't been doing so great. I think we should work together on this one. I think I better talk to the chief. Dora Kiryu says solo. He was right the last time. They probably know things I don't. All right, forget it. Every man for himself. I'm not gonna. He says to do. I should take the George Costanza approach, is what you're saying. You're right. I don't know, but don't you think she's got intel I could use? All right, let's try it. Let's try it on our own. If you can't be the best on your own, then you don't deserve it. Your campaign manager scoffs, but as usual comes around after a bit of a cool-off period. The Chiefs team launches a severe smear campaign. Is this the only angle she has? Against the new challenger, and it all but crushes them. Meanwhile, your team's stuck with the same strategy, and you have even gained ground on the chief. I can either gain 2 points or a die. I think 4 dice is pretty solid. We are really hurting for points. Let's try to make up some of those points. All right, second to last card. The campaign is almost at an end. Your campaign manager calls you. This is bad. Tell me this isn't true. A story involving you and a bad decision you allegedly made has been leaked to the press. I've never even met a woman named Valerie, I swear. I could say it's a lie, I never did or said any of that, or come clean and admit it. I mean, I think we've all learned in politics, you gotta lie. We're gonna lie. They can't prove it. You go on the record calling the story fake and untrue. The journalist that broke the story holds firm but is unwilling to reveal the anonymous source. And so the uproar over the story eventually dies down. Ooh. If you do not have the corrupt trait, gain 5 points. If you do have corrupt, lose 1 die. So, I don't have that anymore. History of lying. Which means we are on to the final finale card. Will is saying that since I'm already corrupt, I should cheat. I don't know if he means thematically or literally. Here we go. You have almost run through your budget, and there are still a few weeks left in the campaign. You're going to have to do some more fundraising to finish your campaign strong and win the race. I can solicit corporate and special interest support for large donations, or solicit individuals for smaller donations, knowing you will need a lot more of them. Now, I see both sides to this one. The cynical side of me says, get in bed with the corporations. But you know, old Bernie Sanders and some of those other folks, you know, he got a ton of donations from small donations from people. All those $27 donations and such, that was a big thing. Will thinks that he's doing a bit of metagaming here, I must say. That since I didn't save so many people, that one's probably bad. It's probably going to depend on how many hostages I've saved. Hey, I've saved 15, 23, 24, 30. Hey, I've saved 39 hostages. That could be worth something. You know what? It's the end of the... I'm going to go for the little people. I'm I have to tell you, I'm guessing either way, I'm pretty sure I'm headed for the worst possible ending. So. There isn't a lot of time, but your team hits the phones and the pavement really hard. They get a lot done and you raise enough to get to the end of the campaign as long as nothing goes terribly wrong. I can either gain a die, well, I'm not doing that because it's over, or roll my dice and I get a point for each result higher than my personal stress. Okay, so anything above a 2, I get a point. 3 points! Hoser points out I've saved more people than I've killed. That's a good way of looking at it. And weren't we just going for the pension anyway? Yeah, things really moved fast here. I thought I was just going to retire, and all of a sudden I'm in politics. I don't know what happened. So that's the final card. It didn't matter. So I ended with a total of 4, 6, 8, 9 poll points. There are 3 possible endings. To get the best ending, I would have needed 22 points. For the next ending, I would have needed at least 11. I didn't quite make it. which means I'll be reading alternate finale 1, Ending C. Ending C. Here it is, folks. The capper of our career. Election day is finally here, and you can tell it isn't going to be pretty. The chief takes an early and commanding lead and never gives it up. In fact, it is one of the first elections formally called 4 hours prior to polls closing. Well, that's that. Time to move on. And I am left with, there's 2 possible paths here. Then I don't actually have a choice. It depends on my corruption level. Were my corruption level 5 or higher, I would have been consumed by corruption. But 4 or lower, I have not been consumed by corruption. So, let's see how my life turns out. Time to move on. But you live with an emptiness in your heart. This is the good one? An emptiness in my heart? All right. You know you would have been a great chief, and you have a hard time letting it go. Ironically, the chief launches an investigation against you and your campaign. You are ultimately found to have acted above board. And the investigation quietly and eventually goes away. But in the investigation, certain things were discovered about the chief, and ultimately she is removed from office. Hoisted upon thine own petard, chief. You briefly contemplate another run, but you know that even though the investigation against you turned up nothing damning, the accusations alone are enough to prevent you from winning the position. And at the bottom of this card, it says simply, the end. And that's all she wrote, my friends. So I did not expect things to turn out this way. Really thought that I didn't see this coming. I didn't know that my character would have a political aspiration at the end of this. But that's what happened. I had a career. I became the lieutenant. It was a rocky road. It was a real rocky road, but I did in fact become the lieutenant, a lieutenant. And ultimately, I made a go at it. Politically, didn't work out. Retired. I still have my wife. I got my love life in order. All things considered, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that is the end of my 10-year career as a hostage negotiator. And it really kind of feels like it's been a full 10 years. If anyone's curious, so there's... I have 2 alternate finales. This was just one of them. And then there's a regular finale. Alternate finale 2 has a mushroom cloud on it. I don't know what in the world that means. And then I have this regular envelope career finale, which I never did open, I think because this one is smaller and more intact. So this is just your basic one. Don't know what that one is, but I guess I would have to play through another campaign to find out. Reading the chat, Dorikiryu says, what a twist. Kamui says, what? Hoser says, if being chief means you don't actually have to negotiate hostages anymore, then yes, you probably would have been an awesome chief. True enough. And says, you had a great run there at the end. Good job. This was fun. You'll have to do another career at a later date. I don't know about that. Next up, Final Girl. Yes, Final Girl, the follow up from Van Ryder, horror themed, not campaign based, but when that finally comes in, I know that I've been following their shipping updates, and it's a little rocky for the United States, unfortunately. I'm not sure if that's coming by the end of the year or not. I can't remember, but I'll definitely stream that at some point, I think. Uh, Kamui says, nice gameplay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching through this, the ups and the downs. Mostly the downs, because let's face it, there were mostly downs. But look, I got 2 wins there at the end. And 50-50, you know what? That's not so bad. I feel all right about that. Kamui says wants to see a Final Girl gameplay for sure. We'll make that happen. Ernie wishes he back to Final Girl. They'll do another run. They already announced more promos, more packs. If you can't get it at retail, it'll be on Kickstarter again. Durakiryu says now Pandemic Legacy Season 2. That's obviously not going to happen. KHY Barra asked, would I play through it again? The Hostage Negotiator campaign career. I would. I would. I mean, this game is really like an abusive relationship. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. But right now, even though I just, I didn't get a good ending, I still feel like I had a fun time going through those cards. I like that. Overall, I very much enjoyed it. I like the game. It can be very frustrating at times. Oh, I didn't throw in this frustration die either. But I would do it again. I don't know if I would stream it again, cuz the amount of time it takes to stream has got to be at least double what it would be if I were actually by myself just playing this casually and, at my own time. So that adds a little bit of pressure to it when you have that much extra time on the clock. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit. But I would recommend it to anyone. I mean, if you sat through all this, maybe you don't want to play it, but you could give it a shot. Definitely curious about Final Girl. Of course, next week is Gen Con, if you're watching this live. So you're going to want to stay tuned. Go to rollforcrit.com to find all our Gen Con coverage. I'm sure that will interrupt our normal streaming schedule to some extent. And I don't know what is next for me, but maybe I'll go back into finally the later Resident Evil titles for your streaming enjoyment. But otherwise, that's going to be the end for this stream. And let's see, should we raid? I learned, Will taught me how to raid. And I see that Loading Ready Run is currently streaming, so we could raid them. So everyone in the chat live can have fun with that. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go, I don't know, lie down for a while. Dorakiri suggests, here's the problem, is that I don't have my keyboard in front of me. So I can only reach the ones they're suggesting. So even though you taught me how to do it, Will, you go ahead in the browser and you make the raid happen. As long as you're watching, we will raid Ruel Gaviola, who's a good guy, good board game content creator, who we need to get on the show at some point. So if you want to connect those dots and make that happen, that'll be our raid. But that's it for me for Hostage Negotiator career. It has been an exciting journey. It has had a lot of ups and downs. Like I said, mostly downs. But it's been fun experiencing it with all of you. And I thank you again for tuning in. And I'm not leaving just yet. Just hang on, because I made a promise. Everyone's favorite little hostage, Leia the cat, here to bid us goodnight. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad that we rescued those hostages. I'm sorry you didn't get to be the chief. I'm so sorry you didn't get to be the chief, but it's okay. I believed in you. I think you're a good hostage negotiator. Do 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 hostage negotiation dance. Do 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 hostage negotiation dance. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Good night. All right. Bye, everyone. Bye. Good night. Goodbye.